Steelers, where he was actually working with position players, but at the same time, he was finding he had a love for going back and working in school toward a doctorate in psychology. He went and got that doctorate, and his emphasis was in part on a study of aging and stress on people. So all of a sudden we have this guy with a world of knowledge on aging and stress and an incredible knowledge of football. You'll find out from meeting Kevin, he has a remarkable connection with people and a really remarkable connection with athletes as well. So he was asked to go into coaching, not so much what he had done in the X's and O's, but identifying something inside of a player that made them able to perform in great, easy, or tough and difficult circumstances. He went on to help people draft folks. And today, one of the most fun parts of our relationship, and we have a multifaceted relationship, but the fun part has been going to see college teams he works with and pro teams. He's taken me to many championship games, but I love his talks because he takes men of different backgrounds, women too in different parts of teams, but my viewing is really football, so it's been men. But he finds a way to find something that he can teach them so they can be very motivated and very effective at what they do. At the same time, using the psychology that he loved and studied and earned a doctorate in, he came into our industry and brought that approach of teaching people to be careful how they talk to themselves and looking for their performance in our industry to do the same things. And so we have top performers everywhere who attribute a great deal of their success to things that Kevin has taught them. In evidence of his success, he is the only person I know of in America who has 27 championship rings. And you know what, guys? For sports lovers, that's almost a you gotta be kidding me deal. So he can help us with performance, and many times in personal troubles or in corporate challenges, I think you're gonna hear the words of Kevin ringing in your head. So I encourage you not only to listen today, but I'm gonna ask you guys to be a part of our email series coming from this meeting to grow along with it and use what he teaches you really throughout your life. On a personal note, you guys know that I have a love for the spiritual side, a love for the Lord. I'm not embarrassed ever to say that. I share that with Kevin, so he's been a great brother in that side of my life as well. So it is a real pleasure for me, although he's uber challenged and tardy here today. I love him like a brother who needs scolding. Guys, let's give applause anyway to one of the greatest guys
Thank you. Apologize to be uber challenged. I got real excited about this program. I came to Mike about it. What I really, and I came to Jeff about it, I really do want to get into training. So I'm going to call this phrase, this whole training, are you a thermometer or a thermostat? And let me tell you the difference between the two. And go be a thermostat, not a thermometer. What a thermometer constantly does is just reflect temperature. That's all they do. So if the market's down, they're down. If people around them are down, they're down. If people around them are discouraged, they're discouraged. And so many times you'll go, oh, the market, all people around me, you know, all the environment. See, that's a thermometer, it just reflects. But this right here is how do we become a thermostat? How do we go and we set temperature? And we constantly set temperature, not saying, I'm going to let this determine where I'm going to be. I'm going to let this determine who I'm going to be. Look at somebody beside you, tell them you're a thermostat, not a thermometer. Come on, tell somebody right now, you're a thermostat, not a thermometer. And what we want to get into is that whole concept of, look, I'm going to set temperature. Now, every time I speak, and Mike and Jeff have been hearing me say this a lot lately, I've gone down a whole different road. The road I've gone down lately is this one. Neurons that fire together, wire together. This phrase, this whole training here is going to be about training your mind. That's really what I want to get into, training of your mind. And if you would come to play football, what you would do is say, I'm going to go into the weight room, and they're going to train me for my muscles to get stronger. I'd have a strength coach. I'm your strength coach. This program is the weight room. But if you really, really want to be good, you know what you do? You take somebody in with you to make you accountable. That's what this program's going to be. And this phrase, neurons that fire together, wire together, we're going to start training your mind on how do I go next level? How do I reach? And your brain is not really interested in you being successful. It's not. Your brain's really not interested in you even being happy. Your brain's really interested in you being safe and secure. So that's what we're going to teach you here, because what we're trying to teach you isn't normal, it's super normal. What it means is we've got to get to a point where we're taking what we've got, training our brain, or reaching. Your brain's just saying, let's be safe. Your brain's just saying, let's be comfortable. But to really go top notch, to really go next level, I've got to train my brain not to be comfortable, not to just sit around and say, I'll take whatever comes my way. It's to really reach. Tell somebody beside you, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Come on, tell somebody, get comfortable being uncomfortable. So if I get to a point, and okay, here's Jeff and I, we go work out, we hit the weight room. Okay, and we hit the heart on Monday. So our muscles get strong on Monday. How long does that muscle stay strong? Come on. 2 days. 2 days. 2 or 3 days. It's called muscle atrophy. Everything works on the same premise. My mind's the same way. That's why it doesn't make any sense that I'm going to one time go and get inspired and then think things are going to last. We go through what I'm going to call psychological and spiritual atrophy after a short period of time. So I want to keep training and training and training. So this program here is, how do I keep on training the mind to be strong, to be bold, to stay accountable, to stay inside my vision? Because that's exactly right. In 2 or 3 days, it goes completely weak. It starts to atrophy. So say this phrase with me out loud. Neurons that fire together, wire together.
Neurons that fire together, wire together.
And what it means exactly is your brain's made up of a zillion little pathways. And no one realizes how quick your brain shapes and reshapes. It shapes and reshapes all the time. And so the same thing, if you're going to play for us in the NFL, I'm not going to let you just go in the gym, June 1st and think you're going to be doing well at the end of August. I want to keep you going over and over and over. Your brains have all these neurons and they fire constantly. They're shaping the way you think. They're shaping what you do. You're not miserable. You're not failing. You're not weak because something Mama did 25 years ago. It's stuff you decide to think and say yesterday. And what I want to get into here today in this whole training is we're going to constantly keep coming together and say, here's the vision we're going to put in our head. Here's the goals we're going to put in our head. Here's what I'm going to call the nitty-gritty goals I'm going to put in our head. Here's the because goals. We're going to get what's called a go-to script Mike alluded to a minute ago, how we're going to constantly talk to each other. We're going to keep each other accountable. That's a big part. We're going to keep each other accountable on exactly what we want to get done. And we're going over and over and over and have somebody keep us accountable what we want to do. Let me stop. Let me have everybody stand up. Just walk over to somebody and say, look, this is what makes sense what Kim has taught so far. This is what's clicked with me. We're getting to the side of mental training, not just a one-time do it. Go over to somebody and go, this is what makes sense what he taught me so far. Just walk over to somebody and talk to them.
It makes sense. I really like the being comfortable.
Good, good.
I'll start talking to hey. You know I will.
I did.
Why is that?
Everybody have a seat. I want to get this podium out here.